When I was 14, my family went on a road trip. At a small town gas station, my dad told me to stretch my legs. I went to use the bathroom. When I came out, they were gone. I waited for hours before realizing it wasn't a mistake. That night, I slept behind the building, then hitched rides until I got somewhere safe. I never called them again. 10 years later, I made a decision. They never saw it coming. They found me through a lawyer. I just said, "Tell Dad he got the goodbye he wanted." This morning, my sister left 14 voicemails. "What did you do? Dad won't stop asking for you. Please just pick up." Hey everyone, before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. So IDK if this is the kind of thing people usually post here, but I've lurked enough and seen wild stories, so whatever. Here's mine. It's not even like I want advice. I'm just still mad about it, like mad in a way that kind of sticks under your skin and never leaves. And I don't even know what to do with it except type it out. Maybe someone else's family is more normal. Anyway, this is about the day my dad just ditched me on purpose. Not exaggerating, not some, "Oh, we forgot you at the grocery store" thing. I mean, he wanted me gone and he made sure it happened. I'm not going to make myself sound like a hero either. I was just a dumb kid who thought things would get better if I ignored all the weird stuff at home. No idea why I ever trusted him. So I was 14, summer. My dad, Steven, mom, Lynn, little sister Hannah, she's like 2 years younger, and me. We'd been doing this road trip thing ever since the divorce, which already sucked because it wasn't like anyone wanted to hang out together. It was more like my dad wanted to prove something to, I don't even know, his new girlfriend, his own parents. There was always a reason, never about us. This one day, we stopped at this random gas station in some town I'd never heard of. Somewhere between states. Doesn't matter where. It's just all those places that look the same. Got a faded sign, one bathroom, some old guy behind the counter who looks like he doesn't care if you pay for the chips or not. It's hot. The car's packed. It smells like old fries because Hannah spilled something under the seat. And everyone's cranky. My dad's in a mood for like the third day in a row. He keeps snapping at me for breathing too loud, tapping my foot, asking when we'd get to the next decent place to eat. Then out of nowhere, he says I should go stretch my legs. "You're making the back seat stink." Not like a joke, just blunt. Like he's already decided I'm to blame for everyone's bad time. I argue a little. I'm not even the one who's been eating those weird egg sandwiches from the cooler. But he's not hearing it. He does this thing where he locks his jaw and won't look at me. Just starts scrolling on his phone, waiting for me to leave the car. So I go. I hit the bathroom, which is gross, obviously. When I come out, the car is gone. Like, just not there. I think maybe they parked somewhere else. Maybe my mom wanted snacks or whatever. I look around, check the side roads, even walk behind the place, but there's just trucks and a couple of locals. I try calling, but my phone's in the car. I left it charging because my dad always says I'm going to kill the battery. I only have like $8 in my pocket. Some loose change, nothing else. At first, it's just annoying. I sit on the curb. Wait, I figure they're messing with me or Hannah's being a brat and convinced everyone to prank me because that's the kind of thing she thinks is funny. So I wait half an hour, then an hour. The old guy inside starts looking at me every time I come in to check the window. I buy a soda just to look normal. I overhear him talking to a woman saying something about some kid outside for a while. So I go back out, sit on the curb again. It gets hotter. I'm getting hungry. I finish the soda, try not to freak out. After like 3 hours, I start thinking maybe something happened. Maybe they broke down. Maybe my dad's mad and decided to make a point. I keep replaying the morning. Him slamming the trunk shut when I asked for my headphones. Mom barely talking. Hannah rolling her eyes. No one's really fighting. It's just tense. I realize, actually realize, that if they wanted to come back for me, they would have by now. I swear it's like something just clicks. There's nobody coming. I go back in, ask the old guy if I can use the phone. He looks at me like I'm sketchy. Asks if I'm lost. I say kind of, but my family's not answering. He shrugs. Gives me the phone anyway. I call my home number from memory. Yeah, I still remember it. Landline. No answer. I try it again. Nothing. I ask if he's seen a silver SUV. He shakes his head, tells me I should wait outside. He doesn't want kids in the store all day. I go back out, sit on the curb, try to act like I'm just waiting for a ride. By now I'm feeling like an idiot. I know I didn't do anything that bad. Yeah, I got in fights with Hannah sometimes, but she was just as bad. My dad, though, he always acted like I was in the way. Ever since the divorce, he just got meaner. Like everything was my fault because I looked like my mom, or because I didn't want to go hunting or do whatever guy stuff he thought a son should do. I'm not even like soft or whatever. I just didn't want to be him. I guess he hated that. After like 7 hours, the sun's going down. The gas station starts to close up. The guy inside tells me I can't sleep in the shop. So I just walk around back and sit down behind the dumpster. It's not like I have anywhere else to go. I try to text a friend on my watch. It's one of those cheap ones you can barely type on, but it won't connect. I try to sleep, but there's bugs and it's cold. And honestly, I just feel stupid and pissed off. Not scared, just angry. Like if this was a joke, it wasn't funny. And if it wasn't, then fine, whatever. I don't know how long I was out there, but the next morning I see people coming in for breakfast, sandwiches, and coffee. I get up, brush off my jeans, and decide I'm not waiting anymore. No one's coming back. I walk to the main road and stick up my thumb. First guy who stops is a trucker. Says he can take me to the next town over. I get in. He doesn't ask too many questions. Just hands me a bottle of water and turns up the radio. I never called my family after that. Not once. I figured if they wanted me gone that bad, I'd make it easy for them. I bounced around for a while, crashed with a couple people I met online, never used my last name, never gave anyone my family's number. I built my own thing. And yeah, it was rough, but at least nobody was waiting to ditch me again. So that's it. I guess that was the day I figured out what my dad really thought of me. Not some big dramatic moment, just a long hot day on the curb realizing I was better off without any of them. I didn't get it. Not for years. But I think it's because he never wanted a son who'd stand up to him, who'd call him out when he was being awful to mom, who wouldn't just play along. He wanted someone to pass his crap on to, and I wasn't it, so he made sure I was gone. If you're still reading, yeah, I'm still mad, but I'm not done with them. Not by a long shot. Update 1. So yeah, I guess you could say I built a life. Not an Instagram perfect one, but a real one. I moved around a bunch, never stuck too long in one city, used nicknames online, never gave out my last name unless I had to. If you looked me up, you'd see like one old soccer photo and that's it. I blocked every number from back then, changed emails, deleted old accounts. I figured if they wanted to find me, they'd have to actually try, not just scroll through Facebook. And TBI, I thought they'd never bother. I was wrong. It was a Tuesday, random, raining. I was eating leftover pizza, standing at the counter. I get this email from some guy with a corporate-looking address, not the usual spam. And it's got my full name, not just first and last, but my middle name too, which is the only way my parents ever addressed me when they were mad. Already, I'm annoyed because nobody uses that except them. And whoever this is, they're not my friend. The email says he represents my family. Not my dad, not my mom, not Hannah, just your family. I almost delete it, but then curiosity gets me. He says my dad is sick. He says it like I should care. He says there are important financial and personal matters to discuss. He asks me to please respond for the sake of everyone involved. I stare at the screen for a while, actually, like I haven't thought about them in years, and now some guy in a suit is telling me to come home like nothing happened. I reply real short, "Who is this, and what do you want?" He comes back with a whole thing about reconciling family, restoring what's lost. Your father wishes to make amends. All that, it sounds like a copy-paste from some therapy site, but he slips up. He says something about the trust. I know what that is. My dad's parents left him some property and a chunk of money. And apparently because of how it's set up, I'm in the paperwork, even though he always said he'd cut me out. So now I get it. It's not about me. It's about paperwork. It's about money, or the house or something. I laugh, actually, like out loud. I reply, "Okay, where do you want to meet?" He gives me a time and place, some bland chain coffee shop. I go because I want him to see me. I want him to see I'm not some scared kid anymore. I'm early because old habits die hard. When I get there, it's just the lawyer at first. He's nervous, keeps checking his phone, looking at the door. Finally, my dad walks in. He looks older, smaller. Not sick exactly, but not how I remember. He's got that look like he's about to start a fight, but also like he might cry. I don't stand up. He sits. He nods at me like he's expecting me to say something first. I don't. The lawyer does all the talking for a while. He says there are documents that need my signature. Stuff about property, family, business, whatever. I don't say anything. I just look at my dad. He finally says, "You're making this harder than it has to be." I tell him, "You made it pretty easy 10 years ago. He looks away. The lawyer tries to smooth it over, says things like, "Everyone makes mistakes, families drift. Wouldn't it be better to move forward?" I cut him off, ask him if he knows what happened at that gas station. He just shakes his head. My dad finally says, "We thought you'd come home." He actually says that, like, what? I was supposed to walk home from another state. I ask him, "Did you even look for me?" He says, "We waited. We called the police. We thought you ran away." I tell him, "You know that's not true. You waited because you wanted to see if I'd just disappear." He doesn't deny it. He just keeps looking at the table. The lawyer looks uncomfortable, like he wishes he was anywhere else. I say, "Okay, so you need my signature. What do I get?" My dad says this isn't about money. It's about family. I laugh because honestly, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I say, "It was about family when you left me, right?" He says, "You don't understand. Things were hard. Your mother was falling apart. Hannah needed stability." I say, "So you decided dumping me was the answer." He says, "You were always difficult. You never listened. You fought back." There it is. That's the real reason. He didn't want a son who would stand up to him. He wanted someone who'd just say, "Yes, Dad, whatever you want." I wasn't that. The lawyer tries to hand me papers. I push them back. I say, "I'll think about it." My dad reaches for my arm. I pull away. He stands up too fast, knocks his chair over. People in the place look. He says, "You're being dramatic. Just sign it." I say, "You're the one who left. You don't get to tell me what to do now." He tries to block me when I head for the door, but I shoulder past him. He actually grabs my jacket, so I shove his hand off. The lawyer starts to say something, but I'm already outside. I don't go back. I don't answer any more emails. I block the lawyer's number. I start digging, though. I find out my dad's business isn't doing great. The only reason they need me is because of how the trust is set up. I'm not a loophole, but I'm the only original kid, and they need my signature for certain things to go through. They thought they could just guilt me into it. They thought I'd just show up, say, sure, dad, whatever you need, and disappear again. Nah. I get a couple texts from an unknown number, Hannah, I guess, but I don't open them. I get a long email from my mom, which is honestly just a lot of excuses. Nothing real. She says things like, we all suffered, you don't know what it was like. I delete it. I start thinking, maybe they should see what it's like to really need something and have nobody show up. Maybe it's time to return the favor. I'm not going to just sit back and let them act like nothing happened. If they want to play this out, fine. I can do that. I'm not a scared kid anymore. I'm done waiting on the curb. Time for them to see what that feels like. So yeah, that's where it stands. They want something. I'm not giving it. Next time they see me, it won't be because they called. It'll be because I decided it's my turn to make the rules. I'll update if anything happens, but I doubt they'll like what comes next. Update 2. So I guess this is the part people wait for, right? NGL, if you read the last post, you know I wasn't going to just let this slide. I'm not a rise above guy, and I don't forgive people who leave me behind, especially not family who act like you're a stray dog they can dump at the first rest stop. After that coffee shop meeting, I kept thinking about how my dad looked at me like I was supposed to just roll over, like he still thought I was 14. Like the last 10 years didn't happen. He wanted me to sign because he needed me on paper, not because he wanted me back. And the thing is, my name is on a few things for my grandfather's will, not by choice, just because my grandpa was old school and wanted the family line to stay clean, whatever that means. So now my dad can't move a single asset without me. And the old man's business, the house, even the useless cottage up north, all that is frozen unless I play along. I read the docs. I made sure I wasn't about to give them what they wanted for free. I decided if they wanted me to show up, I'd make it a show. First thing, I get another email from the lawyer, more polite this time, but urgent. He says the business is at risk, that my dad is unwell, and time is of the essence. I reply once just to say I'll need to see everything. Full transparency, every document. I don't promise anything. I can feel the panic in his follow-up, like he's typing in all caps, even when he isn't. Then Hannah starts texting me from a different number, asking if I'll please just do this. It's not about the past, it's about the family. She says my dad is stressed, my mom is crying, the business is getting heat from the bank. I say if it's not about the past, then why are you all desperate now? She says I'm being cruel. I say you didn't speak up for me once in 10 years. She just leaves it on read. I make it clear to the lawyer that I'm not signing unless I get something real back. I want an apology in writing. I want my dad to admit he left me on purpose. And I want proof that I'm out of the business for good after this. I want it all public or it doesn't happen. I figure they'll never do it, but I want to see them squirm. Next meeting is at their house. I haven't been there since before the gas station. It's smaller than I remember, kind of run down. The driveway's got weeds, the siding's peeling. My dad is waiting at the door, looking annoyed, but trying to act like he's in control. He tells me to wipe my shoes, then tries to hug me. I step back, tell him to get on with it. The lawyer's there, papers on the table. My mom's in the kitchen, not saying a word, just slamming cabinet doors. Hannah's upstairs. I hear her on the phone, probably telling someone how much she hates me. My dad starts in with his speech about how he never meant for things to go this way, how he always loved me, how family is everything. I laugh and tell him to skip to the part where he admits what he did. He turns red, says, I'm being disrespectful. I say, you want disrespect? Try getting dumped at a gas station and see how you feel. He slams his hand on the table. The lawyer tries to calm us down, says we need to be civil. I tell him, civil ended 10 years ago. I grab the papers, look through them, see all the spots they want me to sign. There's a line for me to give up any claim to the house, the business, the cottage, everything. I ask, what's in it for me? My dad says I get peace of mind. I tell him to keep his peace. I want the apology in writing, and I want a letter sent to every board member telling them exactly what happened. He says that's blackmail. I say call it what you want, but I'm not signing unless you do it. He tries to grab the papers back. I hold on. He stands up, gets in my face, says, I'm ruining everything. I tell him, you ruined it. I'm just making sure you can't sweep it under the rug. My mom comes in, throws a dish towel at him, tells him to stop yelling. He tells her to stay out of it. She slams the door and goes outside. Hannah comes down, starts yelling at me, says I'm tearing the family apart. I tell her it fell apart a long time ago. She just didn't notice because she was never the one left behind. She pushes me. I push her back. The lawyer's panicking, saying, we'll get nowhere like this. I finally say, here's my offer. You send the letter. You admit what you did. You give me proof the business is no longer in my name, and I'll sign. If not, I'll just sit on this and let the bank take it all. They argue. They beg. My dad says he'll never do it. I say, good, then get used to losing. I leave. I slam the door behind me. I get in my car and sit there for a second scrolling through messages. I post a short update to a couple of old friends. Not details, just family crap. Not worth it. I leave their street for the last time. Over the next week, the lawyer sends a few desperate emails. He asks if there's any flexibility. I say, not a chance. I don't respond after that. I know the bank's going to move on them. I know the board is going to ask questions. I know my dad is going to have to explain why his son won't sign off. Maybe he'll finally admit the truth. Or maybe he'll just keep lying until there's nothing left to lie about. I don't care. I got what I wanted. I watched him panic. I watched him lose control. I watched my family realize they can't just erase me and expect me to come back when it's convenient. I didn't have to break the law or run some scam. All I had to do was say no. I'll see if they actually go through with my demands, but I doubt it. Either way, I win. I gotta watch them sweat. And for once, I was the one who left them waiting. Final update. So, I wake up and my phone's lighting up like it's on fire. Not notifications, not some emergency alert, just call after call, all from Hannah. She's never done that. Not even when we were kids. Even when she broke her arm and wanted me to cover for her. I don't answer. I just stare at the screen, watching the missed calls add up. Then the voicemails start rolling in. 14 in a row. It's not a number you see unless someone's desperate or lost it completely. I put the phone down and make coffee. Because honestly, I'm not about to jump because they say jump. I listen to the first voicemail. Her voice is shaking, she's crying, she's mad, she's all over the place. Says, what did you do? Dad's losing it. He won't stop asking for you. He's not eating, he's not sleeping. Please just pick up. She says, you broke him. Are you happy now? I don't bother with the rest right then. I already know how this game goes. So, here's what happened. After that last meeting at their house, I stuck to my work. I didn't sign, I didn't budge, I didn't answer. The lawyer tried a couple more times, but when I told him to stop contacting me unless they met my demands, he actually listened. I guess even he could see this was going nowhere. After that, everything just kind of went quiet. I heard from a friend of a friend that the bank got involved. Not a foreclosure or anything, but enough that my dad had to answer uncomfortable questions about the business and the trust. Apparently, when you depend on a son you left behind to save your legacy, sometimes the universe hits back. Poetic, but not even on purpose. I just said no. A couple weeks later, I start getting emails from old family friends I haven't thought about in years. One says, your dad's not himself. Do you know what's going on? Another says, I hope you can all work it out. Life's too short. Like I'm supposed to just let it all slide because people get old. I ignore. Real talk. Where were all these people when I was sleeping behind a gas station eating stale donuts and pretending I was fine? Then out of nowhere, my mom shows up at my apartment. I don't know how she found my place. She knocks. I open the door. She's standing there with a tin of cookies like that would fix anything. She asks if we can talk. I say no, I'm busy, and close the door. She knocks again harder. I open it. She tries to push past me. I put my hand on the door and tell her to leave. She slaps the tin on the ground, says I'm being cruel, that I need to think about the family. I tell her, you should have thought about that 10 years ago. She stands there for a second, then leaves, slamming the lobby door. That night, Hannah sends me a wall of texts. Some of it's just venting. Some of it is her trying to make me feel bad. Some of it is her trying to explain. She says, Dad's not well. Mom is losing it. You don't get it. Everything is falling apart. I don't reply. I read every word, but I don't reply. The next day, I get a letter in the mail from the lawyer. It's got a copy of the letter I demanded. Not public, not to the board, but to me. It's my dad's handwriting, shaky, full of half apologies. He says, I did what I thought was right. You were too much for us. I thought you'd come home. I thought it would be easier. He says, I'm sorry you felt abandoned. Not sorry for abandoning me, just sorry I felt that way. Classic, Stephen. I put the letter in a drawer and forget about it. Hannah calls again that night. I pick up. She starts and immediately says, Dad keeps asking for you. He's not the same. He can't sleep. He's talking about the past all the time. She says, just sign the papers. Just end this. You don't have to talk to him. Just fix it. I tell her, I'm not fixing what he broke. She says, you're punishing all of us. I say, you all let it happen. She says, I was a kid. I didn't know what to do. I say, you know now. She says, you can't really be this cold. I say, tell Dad he got the goodbye he wanted. She hangs up. I block her number. I block my mom's. I block the lawyer's email. I don't block the old friends, but I don't answer them either. I figure if they really want to know, they can ask my dad why he left his son at a gas station and expected him to save the family 10 years later. So yeah, that's it. I don't feel bad. I don't feel good either. I feel done. I wanted them to feel what I felt, and now they do. Maybe worse, maybe not. Doesn't matter. I'm not their insurance policy. I'm not the kid waiting for them to pick me up anymore. I know some people are going to say I should forgive or that I'll regret this when I'm older or whatever, maybe. But at least I know I didn't let them write the ending this time. For once, it's not their story anymore. It's mine.